Okay, this is TempleOS 5-minute random code walkthrough, episode 50, and I'm your host, Terry Davis. Let's see where God takes us. Alt B. And we are in, oh boy, doc recalc B. Okay, this is probably the most one of the most complicated routines. So it's called doc recalc. Where were we? I'm gonna go. So we were down here, I think. So what this is every time we have the DALDoc framework. If you're not familiar with DALDocs, a DALDoc is it's one of these documents with trees and links and stuff like that. And this routine renders the document. Basically, it every time, 30 times a second, the screen gets recalculated, and down at the bottom here, let's see. Okay, so where is it? Here it is. Every time the window manager calls, hold on. So 30 times a second, the window manager calls update windows, and that goes through all the tasks. And for each task, it calls doc update task docs. And update task docs calls doc recalc on both the there's the put document and there's the border document. Doc border, doc display. Okay. So for a task record, if you look for a task record, it has the task record has, where's doc? Right here. Okay. The task record has a double buffered standard out is the put document. The document being displayed is the display document, and then there's the border document, which has the various. If you look on the border, there's various widget or numbers and stuff. Anyway, that's the border document, and 30 times a second, the display document and if you look at this, the display document and the border document are recalculated, doc recalc. So so 30 times a second. Now it's also called when you do a put S. So the main thing to know about how this routine works is it has a recalc. Sometimes you recalc to the screen, sometimes it does find cursor, and sometimes it does just a recalc. When you do a put S, I think it calls recalc. When you do it, when it's done to the screen, it's this one, and then the final one is when the window manager has to. If I click with the mouse, if you see where I click with the mouse, it has to find. Watch what happens if I click here. It finds the nearest entry. So there are three different times recalc is called, and what it does is it it goes through a main loop down here where it goes through all the entries. Here's the main loop. First it has to do a bunch of initializing, then it goes through the main loop, and first it figures out the word wrap, then it goes through and it re-renders the tree widgets and the so forth. Then it goes through a big switch statement down here where it goes through all the various document entry types, and for I think for all the tag types, it goes through all the various document entry types, and then it goes through okay, I was wrong. So okay, goes through all the entries, does word wrap to figure that out. It does the plus and minus for the tree widgets and it figures out what needs to be skipped. And then it renders all the tag types. Where is that? I think that's around here somewhere. Let's look for tag. And then finally it goes, I guess it does, I think it does the tag first, I guess. This is where it's doing it has to do the scrolling. You know, when you have a scrolling marquee at the top, it has to do that. Then it has to do, if it's a text entry, it has to do the tag types. And then finally it goes through a switch on all the entries. And then at the bottom, it decides what it's going to skip. So where is that? So it has, now if you're clicking the mouse and it's trying to find the nearest, then it has to handle that, and it checks each entry to see if it's closest to the where you click the mouse. That's what this best is. The best is if you click the entry, it has to find the closest distance. Then it goes through all the, it has to decide what to skip. When you have a tree widget, if it's closed, then you skip a bunch of entries. And then finally now is this where it's doing the skip? Yeah, I think so. Anyway, no, that's not what that skip means. That's not what that skip means. This is where it's doing this. This is where it's doing the skip. It has to indent the trees and so forth, and that's when it's doing the skip. And then finally at the bottom, I think it has to update a few things, like the it has to, if you have a window. You notice how this document shrinks to the width. This document automatically resizes itself, and that's what's going on here. It's resizing the window. And then finally, I think that's almost the end. It records if it's. That's pretty much the end. Okay, then it unlocks it. It has a lock on the document so that you can't access the document while it's being displayed on the screen. And so if I'm at the command line and I say put s, you see it printed hello. It had to inject this text into the document, so it had to lock the document so that the screen did not update the document. So anyway, it has locks. So how about that?